Excellent. We're live now, Facebook and YouTube. Good morning. Let's go live on Instagram. See whether this works today. Go live. It won't go live. Yes, it's going live. Takes time to kick in. So good morning. If you're joining us on all of the various social media platforms, we're going to do a seated practice today. I think it's quite a nice way of doing our breathing practice, but we will be doing a little bit of movement too. So we'll start off just by a little bit of shaking. So just shaking your wrists. This is great if you're at a desk a lot of the time, or if you just haven't got the mobility to keep getting up and down and stuff like that, and to keep moving. So it's nice just to do that little bit of a seated practice, shaking the wrists. And I'm just going to stand up and move back a bit so you can see, because I know on Instagram that the camera is that shape rather than that shape. So I just want to make sure what you can see. But you are seated, and we're just going to do the Buddha holds up the earth. So you're breathing in, so you can still extend the spine, and breathing out. Soft, gentle breathing in, and breathing out. So I really want you to focus on the smoothness of the breath and the smoothness of the movement. And slowing the breath. And breathing light and slow and deep. Let's just do 2 more in your own time. Good. And then just take a rest. So that's great. You can do that one sitting as well as standing, and it should feel good because it helps to open up the whole of the spine, the whole of the rib cage. From your seated position, and if you're on a chair, have your feet in contact with the ground. And we're just going to rest your hands on your lap and just have a little rotation of the spine. So just have a little look behind and then come back to center. And the same thing. But watch that you're not just using the neck, use that whole spine just to rotate. And again, we're not forcing anything, we're not pushing anything, just gently. Breathing is easy. Just gently resting on your lap as well. Keep that spine long. It's nearly falls off the chair then. Keep the spine long. Breathing easy. Let's do one more each side. And then take a rest. And the lateral movement is always a good one to do on the chair. Again, make sure the chair is stable. If you've got what do they call it, an office chair that moves around a lot, then just be careful on this one, but you're just shifting your weight side to side. So you're shifting onto your sits bones, and then you just let the spine. My stool is squeaking. It is squeaking. And just let that head gently go side to side as well. Sometimes it's easier to do this sitting. Just relaxing into the face, just breathing easy in and out through the nose. Just remembering how important these three-dimensional movements are for the spine, that rotation, that extension and flexion, and then this lateral flexion. This is what keeps us smooth when we're walking and moving forwards. And of course, as we're more efficient in our moving, we are going to be more efficient in our breathing. Take a rest there and just let the breath settle. We're going to do 3 practices. We're going to do a little bit of activation of the breath, and then we're going to do some slowing of the breath, and then we'll finish off with some box breathing as well, which is good for almost like a combination of the two. Activation is deliberately stressing the nervous system. So we deliberately putting ourselves under a small amount of stress, hermetic stress. So there always are those what we call contraindications. If you've got high blood pressure, low blood pressure, if you've got any cardiovascular issues, if you're pregnant, just stay away from any of the strong activating breath work. And that stands for any breath work if it's strong and deliberately activating or upregulating the nervous system. We want to use the diaphragm for this. So just have a little feel where your diaphragm is. So you're coming down towards the base of your sternum. Have a little tuck underneath there, and you'll feel that's where the diaphragm is. And as we breathe in, that diaphragm moves down. And then as we breathe out, that diaphragm moves up. Now, normally when we breathe out, it's just a natural breath out. We don't have to think about breathing out if you're just in a relaxed position. But if we want to activate, make that exhale more active, then we use that diaphragm. So it's almost like you're just using the diaphragm just to, and watch this one because sometimes it can hurt the throat because we end up going, it's not up here, it's down here. If singers are in there, if singers are watching, any actors, they'll know that when you think about working from the center, things coming from the center. So we're just going to do 10, and we'll do quite rapid fire breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then after that, we'll do a long exhale. We'll do that long exhale, so squeeze all the breath out. And then we're going to pause the breath. I'm going to count 10 seconds. Going to count 10 seconds pause at the end of that long exhale. If it gets really uncomfortable before the end of that 10 seconds, then just take a breath. It shouldn't feel really, really uncomfortable. You shouldn't feel as if it's tightening everything up. It's a calming, relaxing pause at the bottom of the breath. So hopefully you're clear on that. We're going to do 3 rounds. We're going to do rapid fire 10, long exhale out, 10 seconds recovery. Then repeat that rapid fire 10, long exhale, 10 seconds recovery, one more time. Right, we can do this sitting. Get ready. Just let your breath settle. And then we're going to take a nice, calm, full breath in. And long exhale out. Squeeze everything out. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go again. Breath in. Long exhale out. Squeeze everything out. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax into it. 10. Full breath in. And rapid fire. Long breath out. Squeeze everything out. Let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe in. And enjoy that next breath in. And then just give yourself a few moments just to let the breath settle. And actually, now we've activated the diaphragm, you can tend to feel all of this lower area here working now, the ribs into the back. So just let that breath create that space in the lower ribs, in the back of the body. Just breathing naturally, breathing softly. Good. And then take a rest, have a little stretch and a little twist if you need it. So what is good about that practice is it's a bit like a wake up, it's a bit like a cleanse and clear. We're breathing out through the mouth. That's not bad if we do it for a short period of time. So we often hear about mouth breathing is bad. Yeah, if you're doing that all day long, if you've got your mouth open all day long, no way do you want to be doing that. But if we're doing it for a short period of time, for a definite purpose and a reason, then it's beneficial. It's understanding why we are doing a various practice, and we're doing that practice to cleanse and clear, activate. It's a great wake up practice in the morning. And because we're doing that pause, 10 seconds, you could go a little bit longer if you wanted to, you could do a little bit shorter if you wanted to. Then we're rebalancing that carbon dioxide. You're bringing the carbon dioxide levels back up. So we're not doing a long period of time with low CO2 levels. So it's a deliberate little teaspoonful of stress on the nervous system, on the cardiovascular system. But we'll balance that out now as well with some very nice, light, slow, deep breathing. So I'm going to give you a rhythm of 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. We're going to do that together for the next maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then I'm just going to let you continue with that conscious control of slow breathing. So you find your rhythm, but deliberately slowing the breath. And the key to this is that we breathe light, i.e., we're not breathing big, full volumes of air. Remember, we only want to breathe the volume of air that we need for what we're doing at this moment in time. So let your body find the volume that it needs. Breathe light. We're breathing slow because we're slowing the breath. And remember, the idea of breathing deep is not breathing big. It's about breathing, feeling how the breath creates movement and how this area, the ribs, the back, the belly respond to that light, soft, easy breathing. Remember, you can breathe deep by just breathing a thin thread of air down into the center there. Good. Get yourself set up first for this. So let's get our feet in contact with the ground. If you're sitting on a chair, if you're sitting on the floor, you're nice and stable and supported on whatever surface you're sitting on. I will count it, but I'll also show you a visual. So if you prefer to watch a visual, then you can watch a visual. If you want to close your eyes, you just close your eyes and I'll count it for you. So stable on the surface that we're sitting. This is great because it tells the brain, yeah, you're safe. Spine is strong. So tall spine, long spine, lengthen the spine up. But then think of strong back of the body, but relax the front of the body or soften into the front of the body. So relax into the forehead, the brow, just soften into the brow, soften into your eye sockets. And again, if you want to close your eyes, that's fine. If you want to keep them open, that's fine too. And then soften into the cheekbones and the jaw. So the lips are just lightly touching, but we're not clenching the jaw, the teeth are apart. If it feels comfortable, the tip of the tongue just resting lightly on the roof of the mouth. And then just tuning in with the breath. So just as you're breathing normally, naturally here, really easy way to notice the breath is the physical sensation of the air just as it flows in and out through the nose. And the change in temperature, the coolness of the air as you're breathing in. And now we're just going to start our practice of slowing that breath down. So we'll take a full breath in, and then a nice slow breath out through the nose. And we will breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Soft, light, easy breathing in, breath out. Calm, relaxing breath out there. Breath in, breath out. 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 And then I'm just going to leave you for a couple of minutes just to find your natural slow rhythm. So we're deliberately slowing the breath, and you may stay with that 4/6 rhythm, but just feel that fresh, cool air as you're breathing in, and then just letting go as you're breathing out. It's very natural for your mind to drift off and wander, and if that's the case, you just use that as an opportunity to slowly guide your attention back to the air just as it flows naturally in and out through the nose. That cool air as you're breathing in, and then that warm air as you're breathing out. Soft, light, slow, deep breathing. Every single breath you take in, bringing energy into the body, oxygen, energizing every single cell in the body. And I'd like you to follow 3 more breaths. And then when you've done that, if you have your eyes closed, just slowly opening your eyes. Having another little stretch and a twist. Maybe having a little bit of a shake out there. What is great about just slowing the breath, and yeah, it's good if you've got an app or a rhythm that you can follow there to watch. But just take a few minutes just to sit and deliberately slow the breath, consciously slow that breath down. Excuse me, I'm full of cold this morning, which I woke up with. Really good for the breathing. Just consciously slowing the breath down, because if you slow the breath down, that sends the signal to the brain to go, if I'm breathing slowly, I can't be stressed. So it's a really good way of helping to reduce that response to a stressful situation. It's not always the best thing to do when you are stressed. There are other things you can do. But the more you practice this, the more you'll be able to manage stress, that stressful situation, a little bit better, because you're building your tolerance to CO2, building your resilience, you're building that stress threshold. And now I'm sitting, it's great because I can see who's on Instagram. So it's good to see PJ, Elaine. We've got James on there. So thanks for jumping in on Instagram and watching as I can read the screen. Let's finish off today's session with some box breathing. So we did some activating, which is great. And we've done some calming and relaxing. And box breathing is like a combination of the two, because we're adding a hold and a pause. So that's a great way of really bringing focused attention to ourselves, but then we're doing a nice calm breath in and a calm breath out. And we are actually slowing the breath as well. In fact, we're slowing the breath to more than we did when we did that 6 second breath out, 4 second breath in. We're going to do 4 seconds in. We're going to hold for 4 seconds at the top. We're going to exhale for 4 seconds, and we are going to pause for 4 seconds at the bottom. I always make that distinction between a hold and a pause, because when you hold something, it's an action. So it's different when you're holding air in the lungs at the top of the breath. When you pause something, it's taking a rest, it's suspension. So there is that subtle difference that is happening as we're doing the practice. So let's get set up, feet in contact with the ground, stable on whatever surface that you're sitting, tall through the spine. Remember, strong back, always good to think of strong back of the body, and then soft, relaxed front of the body. So soften into the face, soften into the chest, soften into the belly. Always good just to tune into that physical sensation of the air first, the here and now, that physical sensation of the air in the nose, slightly cooler air as you're breathing in. And then we're going to start the box. So take a full breath in. Nice breath in, and then breath out. And then breathing in. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breath in. Hold. Out. Pause. 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 Let's do one more round. So breath in. Hold. Out. Pause. And then just letting your breath settle back to its natural rhythm. 3 really simple practices there. First one, activation. Second one, just slowing the breath. And the third one there, just adding that hold and that pause. And again, you don't necessarily need to do 4 seconds. Just adding that pause at the top, or hold at the top, pause at the bottom, is a really good way of just bringing focused attention to the mind. So you're calm and relaxed, but you've got that focused attention as well. Excellent. Good to do one sitting as well, so we can't always get up and be moving around. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on Wednesday for a little bit more. We will be doing some movement. So thanks ever so much for joining as always. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you Wednesday. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.